How are you guys doing today? Today, I want to talk about why my Vantage score is different from my FICO score. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector, a subsidiary of Clear and Strategic. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from management to owning 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 10 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. For those of you who are new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's go. Okay, very quickly, 25 people for free credit repair. Do not miss this opportunity. Sign up. The links and so forth are down below. Also, don't forget the free letter bundle, which is down below. You'll get 3 free letters absolutely for free. Pay to delete, goodwill, and cease and desist. Don't forget to do that. And then lastly, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel, like the video, and share with your friends. I want to talk about this topic mainly because a lot of people are always asking me why my Vantage score is different from my FICO score, if I should in fact even care about the Vantage score, which one matters the most, and so forth. But ultimately, why the scores are always different. Typically, people wonder why their Vantage scores ends up being higher than their FICO score. So I'm going to explain that information to you. The reality is, and this is just in my opinion, my humble opinion, you should probably learn both. You should understand both. As we know, FICO score has been around for a very, very long time. I believe since about the 50s. It's been around for a long time. It's what a lot of creditors use in order to vet you as a consumer to see if in fact you can get approved for something or get declined. Now, on the Vantage score, as we all know, it is growing. It is coming, and I believe that it's here to stay. The reality is, as it is growing, it's relatively newer. I believe it was in the early 2000s is when Vantage score came out. Creditors and so forth slowly but surely will start to use this scoring method. The reason why the scores are different mainly is because of the simple fact of their criteria and what they use with regards to coming up with your score, right? My thought process is no on both. For most people out there, the reality is a lot of times your Vantage score will be higher than your FICO score. Now, for myself, for some odd reason, before I understood this, my Vantage score was always lower. My FICO scores were higher. And at the time, I didn't understand it until I figured out what their metrics are and what it is that they actually use to vet you to come up with your actual score. So, as you can see here, on this side, I have the Vantage score as well as your FICO score. And I'm going to make this big. Hold on. As you can see with your FICO score, which I'm circling here, there's factors and the actual percentage of what the weight that it does. So as you can see here, your payment history, it represents 35% of your FICO score. Your credit utilization represents 30%. Your length of history represents 15%, credit mix, and new credit 10 and 10. Now, as you can see over here on your Vantage score, your payment history is actually 40%, which is 5% more than what it is of that of FICO. Your depth of credit, which is how many credit cards and so forth you have. As you can see on the FICO side, there is no depth of credit. That represents 21% of your FICO score. And then your credit utilization represents 20%, right? Here on FICO, your credit utilization represents 30%. Your balances, which is what you have actually on your credit cards, represent 11%. Your inquiries and recent behavior represents 5%, and then your available credit represents 3%. And as you can see here on FICO, they don't have anything with regards to your available credit. So, the main thing you need to understand with regards to that is simple. They use different matrix. So if your Vantage score is higher, chances are when it comes to some of the matrix that they have versus your FICO score, you must be doing a little better, right, with regards to that. Let me look at this one more time. So 40% is your payment history. as we can see here on Vantage. So if you have a great payment history, that's going to represent 40% of your score. 40% of your score is almost half of that FICO score, right? Your credit depth and your credit utilization represent 41%. So between those three things, as we can see here, it represents 80% of that Vantage score. So if your depth of credit, if you have a lot of credit out, your credit utilization is low, and your payment history is on time, you can pretty much have a high FICO score. And then the last three things they have is balances, inquiries, and available credit. Now on this side, your payment history and utilization represents 65% of that score. Your length of credit history, which is pretty important, represents 15%. Your credit mix, which represents installment loans versus revolving loans, and then your new credit. They want to see you with new credit. Versus over here with Vantage Score, they want to see the available credit and the inquiries, right? So if you have a bunch of inquiries, and that's the thing that I realized with regards to why my Vantage Score was lower. At one point, I had a bunch of inquiries on my credit profile, which made my Vantage Score lower. But as you guys can see with regards to both of those things, be sure to take a picture of it so you can understand it. The only difference is what they use, the criteria that's used with regards to vetting your credit score. Do not sleep on Vantage Score. I believe that they're here to stay. I believe that they're going to be here for a while, and I think just as FICO has been going and determining a lot of people whether or not they get approved for credit, eventually I believe Vantage Score will be the same. Now, my expectation and what my opinion is just my opinion, so don't kill me. If you have a different of opinion, put it down in the comment section below. And let me know what it is that you think. But I found that picture on the internet. I decided to share it with you guys so that you understand why a lot of times your Vantage Score may show something and then you think that you're going to get approved for it, or you get declined for something, and whenever you're declined for credit, they'll send you something in the mail and you may look at your score and it's showing lower than Vantage. Or vice versa. The FICO score may be higher and the Vantage score may be lower. The reason why is the matrix that both of those companies use to vet and come up with your actual credit score. As long as you guys understand that, it's cool. I say learn them both. Obviously, FICO score is more used across the board with regards to everything. They've been around for a little over 70 years, so it makes more sense. Most creditors use FICO score. Your FICO score versus your Vantage score, but as you can see with a lot of banks and so forth, they're giving your Vantage score as well. If you have any questions about credit or debt, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And as I always state, you be great.